His name was Eleazar. He decided not to. He said, after living all these years, what would I, and stain my reputation with this one deed of mine, just for a few days more on earth? And it says, when he did that, and he left a good example, it says the king who was showing favor to him, his attitude turned to wrath, and he literally beat the old man to death. In chapter 7, that was 2 Maccabees chapter 6. From verses 1 to 31. 2 Maccabees chapter 7 shows how what? How there was a mother and her 7 sons was literally butchered at a feast because they refused to eat pork. And so he started from the oldest son and worked his way down to the youngest son, butchering them. It says cutting their members off joint by joint, piece by piece, trying to oblige them to eat pork, and they wouldn't. And it says last when the youngest son was done, then they killed the mother in like fashion. That's all of 2 Maccabees chapter 7. That's what it means when he's going to continue to do exploits and exalt himself above the Most High. Go ahead.
And shall prosper to the indignation be accomplished.
In other words, when they say indignation means that was the Most High exercising his wrath against Israel as was prophesied by Moses in Deuteronomy. So it was all just. It was what Israel, our forefathers, brought on us. Just like what happened to us in the Americas and wherever it is we were raised. All throughout Latin America, the Most High, the day came when judgment and the Most High's indignation had to be fulfilled with us. Go ahead.
Verse 36 again. And the king shall do according to his will, and he shall exalt himself and magnify himself above every god.
He's reading it again, but I already gave you the precepts to go to. 2 Maccabees chapter 6 verses 1 through 31 and 2 Maccabees chapter 7 verses 1 through 42. Go ahead.
And shall speak marvelous things against the God of gods.
Yeah.
And shall prosper to the indignation be accomplished.
One of the marvelous things that he spoke against the Most High was he called himself God. His surname meant God manifest. Epiphanies is a Greek word that means God manifest. No, even here I am. Go ahead.
For that is determined shall be done.
What verse was that? 37?
36.
Okay, go ahead, verse 37.
Neither shall he regard the God of his fathers, nor the desire of women.
And when you read about it, Antiochus had sons, but you know he was into what today is referred to as excessive and wanton debauchery. That's what this dude was into. In other words, just literally breaking the will of Israel and wanton pleasures. Go ahead.
Verse 37. Neither shall he regard the God of his fathers, nor the desire of women, nor regard any God, for he shall magnify himself above all.
Come on, yo, would you read out loud? Go ahead.
But in his estate shall he honor the God of forces.
It says, but in his estate shall he honor the God of forces. In other words, when you read 2 Maccabees chapter 9, it wasn't until then that the Most High, when he was coming back from raiding, fighting against the Parthians. The Parthians whooped his ass. He was so mad, his intention was to come back to Jerusalem and make Jerusalem a common burying place of the Jews. This is what is written in 2 Maccabees chapter 9. And his chariot hit a rock, threw him out, busted his body up, and at that moment, the Most High had his flesh turned to maggots. It turned to worm, and the worms began to consume him while he was alive. It was at that point when it says he could no. Matter of fact, I could read that portion just where it says he could no longer. Because it said, read the top of verse 38 again.
Verse 38. But in his estate shall he honor the God of forces.
When it says in his estate, it means during his reign, he would finally be forced to acknowledge the God of forces. And I'm going to read the statements that he did. This is 2 Maccabees chapter 9, and I'm going to read it. Oh man, this is bad. I'm going to read it from verse 7. It says, howbeit he nothing at all ceased from his bragging, but still was filled with pride, breathing out. This is 2 Maccabees chapter 9. You would read it from the top, but I'm going to start at verse 7. 2 Maccabees chapter 9, verse 7. Howbeit, he nothing at all ceased from his bragging, but still was filled with pride, breathing out fire in his rage against the Jews, and commanded to haste the journey. But it came to pass that he fell down from his chariot, carried violently, so that having a sore fall, all the members of his body were much pain. That's why he got busted up and he got thrown out of his chariot. And thus he that a little afore thought he might command the waves of the sea, so proud was he beyond the condition of man. That's what it said he would be. So he would magnify himself above the Most High. Check this out. So proud was he beyond the condition of man, and thought he could weigh the high mountains in a balance, was now cast on the ground and carried in a horse litter, showing forth unto all the manifest power of the Most High. In other words, the Most High, at one point his cat was on top, had the power of men's life, and now he was literally being carried around in a thing that where the horse shit was carried. It says, so that the worms rose up out of his body. I'm sorry, let me read it right. So that the worms rose up out of the body of this wicked man. And whilst he lived in sorrow and pain, his flesh fell away, and the filthiness of his smell was noisome to all of his army. Imagine your skin turned to maggots. And you know what maggots are. Maggots don't just come up on people to eat. Maggots consume carcasses. So this man was literally the living dead. The Most High was having him, what they call it, he was decomposing while alive. And he got up. What else do worms eat that smells so bad? Remember, he just said it. His army couldn't even take his own smell. He was decomposing while alive. All right. Verse 10, and the man that thought a little afore he could reach to the stars of heaven, no man could endure to carry for his intolerable stink. Now they ain't talking about a dead body. Talk about dead man walking. Here therefore, being plagued, listen to this. Read that verse again, where it says he should do what? Verse 38 at the top. Verse 38. But in his estate shall he honor but the God of forces. In his estate shall he honor the God of forces. Go ahead. And a God whom his fathers knew not. Because his fathers were into what? Zeus and Apollos and Jupiter. It says that a God that his fathers knew not, go ahead. Shall he honor with gold. Shall he honor with gold. I'm going to show you what he did. In short, he repented all the items that he had stole from the temple. When you read further down, he turned it back in. And then he turned around and made the Jews all throughout his realm equal to those of Athens. I'm going to read as much as I can. Oh, I got to give me some water too, but I got to reach my limit, brother. You know what it is to dry air and everything. Maybe we should open that door a little bit. What you think? Go ahead and open the door. We're going to wake up all the kids and stuff, but hey, they got all that school, man. They got all they read. All right. I'm going to go ahead and just keep it cracked, because I ain't trying to wake up a ride too much. That's too much, just up the air conditioning. I'm at verse. That's a big difference, man. I'm at chapter 9 of 2 Maccabees, verse 11 now. Because in Daniel chapter 11, verse 38, it said he would give honor to the God of forces. And it said he would serve a God that his fathers never served. Here therefore, being plagued, talking about Antiochus Epiphanes, he began to leave off his great pride and to come to the knowledge of himself by the scourge of God, or by the scourge of the Most High, in his pain increasing every moment. And when he himself could not abide his own smell, he said these words, "It is meet to be subject unto God, and that a man that is mortal should not proudly think of himself as if he were God. This wicked person vowed," listen to this, this is how he honored the Most High. This is verse 38 of chapter 11 being fulfilled. This wicked person vowed also unto the Lord